Hello, and welcome to the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, episode 42. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and joined, as always, by James St. Charles and Jimmy Neutron's dirty Doug drug dealer cousin, Ted Libby. Ted, how you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. How's everyone's New Year, 2021? How do we feel?
Tame. Actually, no, today's scared.
Today is scary, yeah. But we're not going to talk about that because this is about not politics.
I've already...
They don't know what today is. They don't know what they were recording.
Yeah,
I could just be scared for a general.
They're like, ooh, James is like really scared. They're like, oh, the politics. He's like, no, it was a spider. I saw a spider. Terrified me.
Yeah, I'm scared. It's a Sunday.
Well, I can tell you one thing about my 2021, guys. And I'm going to talk a lot about it on this podcast. But I brought a prop. Just like James did once before.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, no, it's backwards.
Oh, no. Boom, perfect.
Your boy got a motherfucking PlayStation 5. Because this is the 42nd episode of the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, where every Monday morning a new episode goes live on youtube.com, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Once a week, we sit down and Skype across 500 miles to talk about a video game-related topic, and I'm going to talk about that sweet, 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 sweet PlayStation 5, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Astro's Playroom. If you enjoy the show, remember to subscribe, like, and maybe leave a comment. And please, for the love of God, tell your mothers. We have 73 subscribers. I want to see 73 moms on this page tomorrow. Okay?
Agreed.
Now, I want to give the con to you guys for a second. Do you want to talk about games we've been playing, or do you want to jump into the PlayStation 5?
For you, I haven't been playing any games.
Great.
So, yeah. I have, but I'd rather just hear about the PS5 right now. I'm curious.
That's all I want to hear.
So, let's just get into it.
All right. I own a Series S, an Xbox Series S, and I've owned it for about a month and a half. And I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great experience. It's been great to have Game Pass on the TV, and it's cool to have an SSD running stuff on a game console. Mm-hmm. The minute I turned the PS5 on, it felt next gen. Xbox Series S felt like another Xbox. This felt like next gen. Just from the get-go, I was like, this just feels different than what we've had before. The PlayStation 5 is the ugliest console I've ever seen in my goddamn life. It's gross looking. It is so big and massive. The disc drive, I have the disc drive version. It's loud. You can hear discs turning, and that's a little suck. You can hear them turning when they install. I would say eventually it stops being very loud. James, you had a question?
What about movies? Have you played a movie?
Yes, and we've been watching The Office because we have The Office on Blu-ray and it's off Netflix now. So we've been watching The Office, and it's not that bad with movies. But I noticed when it was installing Demon's Souls, because I got a disc because it was a bundle. It was pretty loud, and I was like, "Ooh, geez!" Even my cat, like Scout, ran over and was like, "What the fuck is that noise?" So it's big, it's massive, it's cumbersome. That being said, this thing is slick. It's crisp. It is outputting in like native 4K. I think the Xbox Series S is 1080. It's not 4K, so stuff it isn't like super. It might be higher, 1440.
And you are playing it on a 4K.
And I'm playing it on my 55-inch 4K.
You noticed a difference?
Yes, and I didn't think I would. And I've noticed a difference in like small, stupid little areas, like title screens. We're like, wow, the text is really crisp. Like, like it's dumb stuff like that. Where like I booted up Demon's Souls, and we're going to talk a lot about Demon's Souls later. But just booting up in the text splash screen of Demon's Souls is like, wow, this is slick. Yeah. So that's great. The store is fine, whatever. They've taken a lot of the bad stuff of PS4 and got rid of it. The store is no longer a different page. It just loads right in to like the main page, which is really nice, where it's not like taking forever to load into then the store. So that's cool. Great thing about PS5 as well is that if you have PlayStation Plus, they have the PS Plus collection, and all of these PlayStation 4 exclusives are free. If you have PS Plus, God of War, all of their big titles, Last of Us, Uncharted 4, tons of stuff on there. It's insane, like what's free for PlayStation Plus users on that. So that's everything there. Just kind of the overall console experience. That being said, why I said this console is next gen, and it's something that I didn't think I needed, was the Dualsense Controller.
Yeah. That's what I want to know about. Because it's native compatible with PC, which is incredible. That's what I want.
I 100% think you should get this controller if PC games start using the technology that's in it.
Yep.
I didn't know how shitty vibration in controllers was until I played with the DualSense, and the vibration's incredible. So Astro's Playroom, I'm going to start there. It's the free game that's bundled in with every PS5. And it is a glorified tech demo that is way better than it has anything right to be. It's all about showing you what this controller can do.
Cool.
And this controller can do fucking crazy things. The way that the vibration works, I was listening to Triple Click, which is a Jason Schreier. His new podcast when he went to Bloomberg and no longer at Kotaku. They had some guy that they brought in to basically explain why the vibration in the DualSense is different than normal controllers. And that it's normal controllers like sit on a motor, and the motor either spins really fast or really slow, and that's how vibration works. Yeah, with the weight in it. And it's been that same technology since the Nintendo 64 introduced the Rumble Pack. It's really not changed. This controller basically has like separate vibration points throughout it, and they're able to like send pulses of vibration to give you different feelings throughout the controller. So if someone runs from left to right on like a title screen, basically in Astro's Playroom, the vibration moves from left to right in your hands.
That's amazing.
Okay. The most amazing thing with the PlayStation 5, and it sounds so dumb that this is my favorite part so far. I was playing Astro's Playroom, which is a normal 3D platformer adventure where you go around and you collect stuff, and it's very cute. Walking on grass, then walking on a wood floor felt completely different. How crazy is that?
That's pretty darn cool.
It's insane.
Is it like vibration throughout the whole time? Like the pulses? It's
like every footstep vibrates, but it's vibrating differently depending on what surface you're on.
Mm-hmm. And it's the whole controller? Or is it just like...
Yeah, it's like the whole controller, but it's like in your palms.
I just get it just to test.
Yeah, I really hope that it's integrated well with
does
PC.
It integrate? Because if you have a game that came out with PlayStation 5 and you play with the controller, and usually that's how it works for like Xbox. Yeah. Like the controller is just natively supported there, and then the vibrations carry over. But that being said, the vibrations for Xbox controllers are just basic. It's just like vibrate this much, vibrate. If this sounds more complex, which
definitely
probably I wouldn't see how it would carry over, but
and that's maybe? The thing, I don't know how it will be, and it's also like a lot of these gimmicks are always like there at the beginning of games consoles life cycles, and then they fade away, and you know. Yeah. The touchpad when the PlayStation 4 first came out was like thumbprints and cool opening door mechanics and stuff, and now it's just it's the map button on every game, and it's still the map button on games in now. But I can't understate how impressive the vibration in the DualSense controller is, and it sounds so stupid and boring. That being said, then you have after the vibration the triggers, which are the haptic triggers that have like the adaptive feedback. And this game makes you use a bow and all these different things, and you can feel that trigger like resisting you pulling in, and it's really cool like how like you feel it stretch. Even with Demon Souls, you can feel the bow stretch a little bit when you pull back. It's just really impressive, and I'm excited to see how like Horizon utilizes these features. Like PlayStation exclusives utilizing like the DualSense, I think is gonna be really cool. Any kind of questions on the DualSense? Because I think it's just this impressive piece of tech.
I think you've answered. How does it feel? Like look wise, it's more similar to like an Xbox controller, and that's. But how does it? Does it feel like a regular PlayStation controller, or does it feel more like an Xbox?
How's it feel in your hands?
It feels great in your hands. I like the same set sticks. A lot of people like offset. I like same set, so I have no problem with that, and it feels really nice in the hands. I think it's better constructed for your hands than the DualShock 4. Yeah. Which I didn't think was a terrible controller, but
no, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. But I'm fine with PlayStation. I started with PlayStation and then moved to Xbox, but
and so
I'm fine with both. So
I honestly, going from the Series S, which is just using the Xbox One controller, this is like holy shit. We're really like you're going for it for some reason. I just saw Microsoft sent out a survey too, asking if players want these features in controllers. So it's like, oh, they didn't realize this is going to be really cool. Honestly, just the way that the vibration is different and that you can get, it's like programmable beats instead of just like revving up a motor up and down is really cool. Like literally I like lost my mind walking on grass to then hardwood floor. And I was like, Maddie, you have to come and feel like this. And my girlfriend doesn't play video games. She's like, oh, that's actually really cool. I was like, yeah. Then just going into Astro's Playroom, because that's kind of what we're talking about. It's a very simplistic game, and it is a very normal 3D platformer, grabbing puzzle pieces that make a mural and then these artifacts. But what's really cool about this game is it is a museum to PlayStation history. And all of the every level, there's 4 levels. or 4 worlds with like 4 different levels. Every world is based off a different PlayStation console. And so you're gathering artifacts for like the PlayStation 1 in this world, and you're getting like the SingStar microphone and random ass fucking artifacts from these consoles. Like going into the PlayStation 3 is like, which I was really into the PS3, like all these different like attributes that came with that, like the eye camera from the
PSI,
PS2. Yeah, like all these weird things. You're like, oh my god, this isn't a video game. The Vita pops up, and I like lost my mind. And it's very clever and cute, and it's all using the Astro mascot in the way. But my favorite part of the game is as you're going through all the levels, you'll find these cameramen that are all in like the Astro robot getup. They're all these little robot men, and they are filming other robots. But these robots are basically cosplaying as PlayStation icons. And so you'll find like the Nathan Drake equivalent Astrobot hanging from an airplane. And they're all over the level. There's one part where like there's a guy at a door, and it's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2. And there's a zombie on the other side of the door. And it's like, but it's all in like the cute Astro Playroom stuff. And so you're wandering around like, oh my god, that's this game. I see Atreus and Kratos sitting in a boat. Like it's really cute and clever. And it's very deep, where there were certain mascots. As a big PlayStation fan, I'm like, I don't know what this man with the big scissors is. Like, I don't know who this is. And that's like a deep cut. So it's really fun. It's really cute, and it's free, and it's really simple, but it shows you what this controller can do in a really fun, innovative way. And shows a lot of reverence for the PlayStation brand that I feel like they tried to capture that with All-Stars Battle Royale, that like Smash Bros equivalent. And this did it in a much better way.
Yeah.
So any questions on Astro's Playroom as I just kind of spilled it out?
No,
I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's all really cool.
Yeah.
I think it shows kind of a pivot towards, we talked about this before, this idea that Sony's just going to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a controller that supports their, the games that are going to come out as exclusives.
Yeah.
And that's very cool.
And Sony, I think just last year showed like they have so many freaking exclusives. I think they had like 7 or 8 exclusives to their console last year on the PS4, and now
I do have a question. How does the controller feel when you play Days Gone?
Fun fact, I've never touched Days Gone.
I mean, that game. Remember the hype on that trailer when was like, oh man, this looks pretty good, and it came out, it was like,
this isn't good.
Not good.
Apparently,
yeah. I do think all of this is very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope that this, competitors come out and bring out their own controllers, and we get it on other platforms and other spaces. If there is a world in which devs just can start programming in, I don't know, smart rumble or haptic feedback, whatever it is, just in their games. And if you have a controller that can do it, it works.
So jumping off what you just said, some devs have done that. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla has the tension in the controller when you do the bow stuff. Yeah. So like it is built with some third-party games, like utilizing.
Yeah. I hope Sony makes that as easy as possible to like, oh, you have a bow.
Here's the bow.
Here's how you can work this into your game with a bow.
Yeah.
If they can make it super easy to where devs, it doesn't take a lot of time for them to add that in, could be a game changer, right? If you have to pick between Assassin's Creed 19 on your Xbox or your PlayStation, you might pick the PlayStation if it's got a cool controller.
Well, shit, now that I have it on my Xbox, I'm like, do I want to buy it on sale here and my save transfers and play it on here? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'm on the fence.
Right.
Jake, I was curious. You haven't played anything with like driving, have you?
No. Well, Astro's Playroom has a little bit of driving, but no, not real.
I was just wondering, like, how would that be like a Forza type game?
Yeah, I kind of wonder.
Gran Turismo, isn't that?
That's coming out this year.
Turismo?
Yeah.
GT?
Yeah, that's coming out soon, actually.
Yeah, there's a Gran Turismo coming out.
So like, I mean, I don't know if you're like in the driving, but like I was thinking, like, man, if only you had Cyberpunk, because then if that had it in there.
Yeah,
I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, I doubt that Cyberpunk has programmed anything for the DualSense, just to be honest.
Hey, it may with the third update,
with the third patch when they eventually release the next gen versions, right? They said they're going to do that. No, I mean, but that's just for me. Fundamentally, at the PlayStation 5, I was so surprised this controller, the features of it, and that it didn't feel stupid gimmicky. Like, I remember with PS4 playing Infamous Second Son, and like the touch scanner, and like you had to put your thumb on there, and then Delson was like putting his thumb on there. He's like, oh, using the touch scanner. Like, shut up. Like, or like with Uncharted 1, you had to use the grenades, but you had to use the gyro and the freaking controller to like throw the arc. And I was like, this is terrible. It's really clever to almost fix the vibration, because I personally turn off vibration in all my controllers. And so this being like, oh no, they're utilizing it in a really cool way, was surprising and interesting. And that the packing game to show the technology was actually good.
That was a very smart idea on their part. Yeah.
And to put like love for PlayStation, I think was really cool. Now, the I would say their premier title for this launch, second maybe Demon's Souls is up there as well, but Spider-Man Miles Morales. I have beaten it. It was maybe 6 to 8 hours story-wise, and then there's collectibles and stuff. It is very much an expansion on the first game.
Yeah.
And they've sold it as that. They have not like said this is, this complete.
It's standalone, yeah.
Yeah, they've said like it's the same map, and it is 100% the same map. That being said, dude, this game running at 4K 60 frames per second. Holy shit. Holy shit. I have an addendum to make on my 2020 Game of the Year list. This is on there for sure, and it's like probably number 6 or 5.
Nice.
Really great game. The character of Miles is very endearing, and his story is basically his origin story of how he becomes his Spider-Man. But what I love was that it was very different than the Spider-Verse movie that I think has become like the staple of Miles' origin. I think it very much differentiated itself from that in a very unique way and focused on different aspects of Miles Morales as a character, which I thought was very cool. Really focused on his Latino heritage as well. He is Puerto Rican. And so I thought that was very cool. The characters, the acting, and Insomniac's on another level with how they've figured out how to make Spider-Man feel. But dude, this game running at 60 frames, it's beautiful, it's fun, and it uses some of the haptic feedback in the triggers, shooting out your webs. You have to kind of give it an extra pull, which I think is really cool. And just I'm very impressed that they had this game ready at launch after just releasing Spider-Man like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So and I am ready for Spider-Man 2 or whatever it ends up being called because. They can put.
I'll have to play that one.
Yep, you love the seconds of the Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man 2s.
Yeah,
yes.
But you will never see them in theaters. No, that's the only one you see in theaters.
I never see Spider-Man 1s in theaters. I only see Spider-Man 2s in theaters.
And there's only one Spider-Man 3 to you.
So far. Topic for a different time.
Yeah, that'll be on the Spider-Man podcast. But the Spider-Man Miles Morales is really impressive. There's not a ton to say about it. It's more Spider-Man. It's literally just more of the Spider-Man game. But what they've done to incorporate Miles and really make him feel unique and using his Venom powers and the camouflage and stuff is really cool. And I can't wait for this second Spider-Man game. And they could put it in the same New York City because it feels just so deep and dense and intricate that
potentially a dumb question here.
Yeah.
Would they change anything for a Spider-Man 2? Wouldn't it have to be the same New York?
See, I hope they don't. I don't think they need to change anything for Spider-Man 2, but I feel like video
games...
They can
always update, though. Like, update and make it more, like, intricate. Like, just make the map a little bit, like, clean it up.
It's the same map, just all the hospitals are full.
Dark.
Oh,
sorry.
Jesus.
No one's out.
Sorry.
Wow, that just killed all chance of growing our audience.
Anyways.
No, well, they did it. So this map is snowing. It's winter time. It's Christmas time. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
So there's little variants, but yeah, it's primarily the same kind of, it is the same exact map. But yeah, I don't think they would need to change it for Spider-Man 2. But I feel like with video games, you like have to change something, right?
That's the thing. There is this need to change, and I don't know what they would do in a Spider-Man 2.
Like, do they add
other than
New
like
Jersey?
I don't know, half the city's been exploded.
We're going across the Lincoln Tunnel, folks.
Yeah.
There's always something there, or they could even do a collab. Like there's just always like they have a good game and they have a good base. They could even like introduce new things to it, which I'd be happy for that. Like, wouldn't you? Like, if you had like some like collaboration or.
I think they've kind of confirmed too that the next game is Venom. Like, you're getting the Venom suit,
which sounds fun.
Which sounds
okay.
Venom is always fun. Like,
so the powers are going to be very different, obviously, too. I think with your Spider-Man. So very much looking forward to whatever Insomniac does next. And we have Ratchet and Clank 2 coming out.
Ratchet and Clank
in like 3 or 4.
I'm excited for those simply because of this controller.
Yeah, me too.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That, and I also think the particle effects that like what the PlayStation 5 can do and what Ratchet does already with just the PS4 version. Like, I'm ready for a new Ratchet and Clank. And
did you ever watch that movie?
Oh yeah, it was really bad. Yeah,
it was bad. Okay, the game's good. I don't know.
Yeah, the game's great. Yeah. And a thing about the PlayStation 5 I didn't even mention, but we talked about it also with the Xbox. The loading times are just hauntingly quick.
Yep.
You press X and you're like into Miles Morales.
Yeah.
It doesn't even show a loading screen.
That is quite cool.
Yeah. Have you done the like pick up and play thing where you can like close out your game, start another thing, or
So
have you done that yet?
yeah, so Xbox has the what's it called? It's got a feature that I forget what's
It
called.
has it where you can like have like a multiple at any time,
games
right?
open at a time.
Yeah.
PlayStation doesn't have that. The app
Yeah.
does close, but
Oh, really?
But it
But it
boots
picks
up
up-
so quickly. It's
Yeah, but
stupid.
it boots up fast.
Yeah, but like we're like Xbox, you can basically go in between two.
It's like a
different games.
pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the game's suspended, but the game is not suspended. The game closes, you just reopen it, and it's very quick. I've never.
Gotcha.
I had this thought earlier today while I was playing Demon Souls, and I was trying to text you guys during my deaths, but the loading screen was so fast. I was like back in the game before I could finish my text, and I was like, "This is just insane that this is what video games are now." It's like there's no phone time in games.
There's no time anymore. These games,
right?
they load so fast.
And I want to briefly talk about Demon Souls before we talk about what we're playing, just because I think that's kind of the gambit of the PlayStation 5. I also have Bugsnax downloaded on my console, and I have not played it.
Yes.
I booted it up, and I was not in the mood for whatever was happening, and I was like, I'll come back to this. Yeah.
You know, I think Bugsnax might be lost to me. It might be missed just because there are other games coming out, but I'm very curious about that. Apparently, the ending is quite interesting.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's like bonkers.
I've heard if you just ignore the graphics, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
So
I heard it's very clever too. I'm very excited for it when I'm in the mood for it, but I was not in the mood the other night. So I started playing Dark Souls. My history of Souls games is I'm not very good at them. Demon Souls, shit.
Yeah.
You're right. Demon Souls. Never played a Dark Souls. But I played a lot of Bloodborne and I really enjoyed it. Never beat it because I'm not very good at them. That being said, I booted up Demon Souls, and I can probably say this, and I know I say this a lot of stuff, but it is probably the best looking game I've ever seen in my life. It is insane. The lighting, the ray tracing, like in this game is insane. The textures, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And honestly, the best thing I can say about Demon Souls, and this is so dumb, is the way that you break like boxes looks like how the boxes would actually break.
Wow.
Like you cut through a box that's got sacks in it, and like the sacks fall over, and the box like looks like you broke it. I think that's really cool. It's not the actual best part of the game, but it was very cool for me as a nerd being like, they did it.
Break.
The breaking technology is improved. But Demon Souls. Demon Souls is very good. I never played the original. It's compared to Bloodborne, it's very slow and very clunky, which I'm not crazy about, but I know it's because the game came out in 2006 or 8 or whatever it came out in. But it's very fun. It's very interesting. It's very cumbersome. There's so much going on, and I have no idea what to do. And it's very haunting. And it took me like an hour and some change just to like get through the first section.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe even more, because I just didn't know where to go, and I kept getting murdered by this dragon. And then it's a Souls game, so you die, and then you got to walk all the way back up to where you died, and then you die again. It's like, all right, but great game.
Get your souls.
Get your souls. But I'm very excited to keep playing it. I really do like it, and it's one of those games I just want to keep watching and looking at because it is so pretty. It's fantastic how good this game looks. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, every video game conversation goes back to, well, if they could remake any game, what would you want? And that has me curious of like, now that we have ray tracing in everyday consumer level consoles,
right,
and the graphics jump is getting pretty insane, what other remakes are in the future? And I'm excited for that.
We'll see. I'm excited for, I mean, I've been praying for a Metal Gear Solid remake. I'm really curious how Mass Effect is going to look like remastered with new lighting effects. I think it'll be really cool.
I'll let you know.
James will know this feeling. Just as I was playing Demon Souls, though, I was like, how the fuck is Naughty Dog, like, what is their game going to look like? It's going to be insane.
Yeah, I can't wait to pick up PS5 that you're telling me, because it's just like, once, because I'm more excited for like the actual exclusives. Not saying that these aren't exclusives, but like
when they get
the ones that are like, the
ones you care about.
This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah.
You're buying the console for this game, basically.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
once they do, God of War
2 comes out this year, apparently. So,
and I know it's going to be good because that studio is just incredible, and they just do good work, and they understand when to release their game and delay.
I've heard that story before.
No,
but they released God of War.
Watch the documentary.
They'll delay a game.
Was it the CEO or someone who played the game and thought it was awful?
No, it was Shuhei Yoshida, who's like head of first party at the time, and he played it and he's like, "This is not a good game."
Yeah, they're like, "Can you match?"
Yeah, like for God of War, which is like how it is like one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited now. I also downloaded Last of Us Part 2, and I'm going to go mess around with like how it up-reses games. I know certain games, like all of the Dark Souls games and Sekiro, have all been upped to 60 frames per second on either the PS4 versions. Bloodborne should be coming. They haven't made an official announcement. So stuff like that, they are up-resing and updating, which I think is really cool. And Natural 60 is just awesome on a console. So very excited. And dude, the PlayStation 5 is fucking rad, and I haven't touched my Xbox since I got it.
Oh,
So,
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So, any final questions about PS5 that I can field? And I'm sure I'm going to keep talking about it all year. So,
Did you try out NBA?
Oh, no, James. Oh, pro consumer tip, everybody. If you get a bundle from GameStop and you don't unwrap anything, the receipt, it is itemized. Every item is broken out. You can return any item.
Oh,
so I returned NBA 2K21 for 70 fucking bucks.
Wow.
Thank you, GameStop. And what'd you pick up?
Nothing.
So you got $70 GameStop.
$70 in my pocket.
Pro consumer tip number 2.
Oh, you got $70 in your pocket.
Oh, you got cash?
Yeah, I got cash.
Okay.
Never mind.
Pro consumer tip number 2. Sell all of your GameStop.
Don't play NBA 2K.
Yeah, let's not celebrate GameStop. Okay, they made people work through COVID, saying they were an essential business. So yeah.
No, I mean I'm celebrating that you taking the money from them.
Me too. I'm very excited.
That's
about
what I'm celebrating. Yeah.
So with that, Ted, I'm going to say fuck off in this segment because you didn't play any video games.
Fuck off, Ted.
James, I want to know about what you've been playing, and I'm going to tell you about one game that I played that I didn't just talk about.
I'm going to brush up on 2 games. I think I mentioned this game last week or the week before. It was the game called Eternal Return Black Survivor. Does that ring a bell?
No, you just said a lot of words that I don't understand. Say it again.
Good. I did not mention it then. Maybe I started playing it last week because we didn't do a show.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I'm sorry.
I was like, this game is called Eternal Return Black Survivor. It is a Korean battle royale MOBA.
Is this that game that looked really good?
I've heard about this. My roommate will check this out.
Is this the game during the Game Awards that was like insanely good looking?
I don't think it was in the Game Awards. I'm trying to remember, but it basically like alpha released, like early access on Steam a couple weeks ago, and it's been in Korea for a while, and it came out here with like English and all that, and it is fantastic.
It looks ridiculous.
It basically like in a traditional MOBA you have a laning phase, which is boring, and you like fight minions and all that. This you take the battle royale aspect of collecting items and building like and getting good weapons. So what you do is you go around this map. You spawn in, you search around buildings and boxes and stuff for your items, and you craft your items for your character. And then after you're all done getting your items, you fight. Just like a regular MOBA. And it's fun, because it's Battle Royale, so you'll have like third party, or you can do like 3v3v3 and all that. That's cool. It is fun. Like there's like characters that are just like,
hold on. I'm confused and concerned.
Yes.
How many teams are there?
I think there's 18 players.
Not a MOBA.
18 players, and it is Battle Royale MOBA. Battle Royale MOBA.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing these two things clash.
Yeah, it's more Battle Royale-esque, but it's taking the MOBA aspects, like the MOBA gameplay, into a Battle Royale. That's how I'd say. There's no, you're not like defending anything, but you're just trying to be the last survivor.
Is this like a Warcraft 3 Battle Royale? That's what I'm overhearing.
Kinda, yeah. That's very, but it's like it looks like this modern like town. Basically, you're in some town, and
the
like
screenshots are very urban,
anime-esque type characters.
So it's like
they play fun.
A Diablo battle royale.
Yeah, I would say it's quite unique because there's like zones.
Battle royale.
And like just like a battle royale, like a zone will turn red, and you can't like go in there for like more than 20 seconds or stuff like that.
Are there minions?
There's drops. There's no minions.
Okay, so
there's mobs. There's mobs though.
Okay.
So you can like kill chickens for like stuff and items, and you can fish and
do that.
It is quite relaxing, I'd say, because like you just like play a little bit, and no one really like messes with each other if you're playing teams in the beginning because it's just not worth it. But if you play the battle royale mode where it's like 1v1v1 versus 18 players, it is chaos.
Yeah.
So like typically you want to like get your item and then go around and like kill people. They can be underleveled. It's fun.
Can I ask a question about this?
Yes.
Okay.
You can.
Thank you. So you start the game. Okay,
Yes.
are you like, do you have any equipment at all? Do you pick a class or anything?
You have like you pick like a character, and the character will be ranged or melee
Okay.
or just
And
like
they
just like a regular
they
MOBA.
already have a weapon.
Your
Just like a
character
MOBA champion.
has 3 abilities until they level up, and then they get an ult.
Yeah, exactly like that. Ted. Yeah, DNF, everything like that. There's no
okay.
like spells, but
I'm seeing how
It's-
these pieces mesh together. I'm getting
yeah,
it.
there's A clicking. Like you can move your camera how you want. You can have it lock on. It's almost exactly like League. Even some of the abilities are similar to Dota, which is interesting. But
Well, we don't say that word here.
don't say Dota, but they do.
Are we?
Yeah, I think Eric would like this game, but it's free to play.
Bust out of
And,
the closet when you say Dota 3 times.
Yeah, you just go around and like collect items that craft into like better items. So you have like a planned recipe that you can go to like certain areas. So it's like, okay, I have to go to this school to get like this pencil, or I have to go to the factory to get this scrap metal. And you could teleport. Like there's some areas where you can teleport, and it's a lot going on, but it's fun.
Yeah, no, I'm understanding
That's
where you're coming
interesting.
from.
Yeah.
That seems very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite fun. Max is 3, like a squad is 3 for some reason. I don't know why that happened. Why is squad 3 now? Squad used to be 4.
I hate that shit.
Squad is
decided
3
Well,
in that game.
well,
Solo
how many,
duos-
if it's 18 people,
Yeah.
6 teams of 3? I don't know.
Yes.
You know, as opposed to 4
Suppose
teams of 4?
you need 16.
Yeah,
Or
and
five
that's not
teams.
enough.
5
Yeah.
teams of 4, 20 people.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. But anyways,
I'm with you. A squad is 4.
Yeah, squad is 4.
Traditional American 4.
Trio is 3. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
That's one game I've been playing. And
Ooh, what's
the next
one?
game I've been playing is a game that Ted gifted me for Christmas, so thank you, Ted.
Aw.
Oh, yeah.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Now, James, we are
What-
going to talk a lot about this next week.
Yeah, so I'm just title dropping.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say one thing.
Yeah, say a little bit. Yeah.
I'm 20 hours in. It is a fantastic game.
Hasn't even touched the surface.
It is. I think it's better.
Whoa.
Well, I think it's better than so far, like the beginning wise. It's better than Yakuza 0, which is one of my favorite Yakuza games.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question about Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then we'll really focus on it next week.
Yep.
But when this game was first announced, it was more turn-based-ish, right? And squad-based. And
Yep.
you were like super not okay with it.
I was not okay with that.
Yeah.
Because to me, like Yakuza is like a beat 'em up. You go in there and beat 'em up.
Yeah.
However, this is very
Is that how we describe beat 'em ups?
yes.
Yakuza's
You go
like
in
a
there and beat 'em.
You go and beat them up.
Okay. Anyways, but the turn based reminds me of the way Final Fantasy did their like
Okay.
turn based with the action.
Yeah.
Because like your characters are like moving during the turns, so it's
Right.
almost like I have to plan out. Okay, my character's going to be over here. If I use this attack, he's going to pick up that object and then attack over
Can
here.
you pause it
So
like you can in
it's-
Final Fantasy?
You can pause it, yeah.
Like no, but like I mean like the action, like pause it, plan out your next move.
Uh,
Like in Final
no, because
Fantasy.
you can't, because your character's all moving, and it depends
Okay.
because like sometimes it'll be like your turn and you'll attack the enemy, and then it'll be the enemy's turn. But then sometimes the enemy will be stunned, or
Okay.
they'll be on the ground, and then if your character goes, you can like hit them while they're on the ground for more damage. It's a lot of strategy that way, and I didn't think like it was going to be like too intense,
Yeah.
but it is quite fun, like planning out your moves, and then you also take damage, so it's like it's like a turn base, so it's like you gotta like do some perfect guards or like guard a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
It also
oh,
yeah.
no.
Well, I don't want to go spoil
Yeah.
too much of it, but there's also like just more in like you have your traditional town like you always start out with like in Yakuza for like the Kamurocho region.
A neighborhood, please.
Your same neighborhood basically, but this time like you're gonna go more places and there's more story and there's more sub story and there's more characters and it just feels like there's so much that I haven't seen in a Yakuza game. But I haven't played like all of them, so I don't know
Yeah.
if this is
Is
normal,
this
but the story's good.
is this a good place to start Yakuza?
You definitely so far there has been almost little like you've needed almost like no knowledge of any previous Yakuza
Okay.
games when you jump into this game.
Yeah.
It lays out the history pretty well that where he's like they don't even mention any of the characters like
Oh.
of the old Yakuza games. So it's like it's just like here's this clan, here's what they did,
It's like a
here's where we're
spin-off
at.
almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a spin-off. It's like a different aspect.
It's very much a spin-off. It's tough to describe. I
yeah,
think
so you
Yakuza
can just play
0
this game.
Yakuza 0 is still a better jumping off point because it is that beat 'em up.
Yeah, it
traditional
is.
style.
Yeah, beat 'em up, yeah.
This is so different that it is arguably not a traditional Yakuza game. It's still going to be the same humor and story and kind of expansive world building that's in those same things, but it is different enough to where I would say it might not even be a good starting point, just because it's a full spin-off.
I wouldn't start with it because the combat is going to be nothing like it. Whereas 0, 1, and 2, and even 3, like they all play the same in terms of combat wise. So you would know, like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, or I can do this build, or this guy plays like this.
If I wanted to play this, I could.
Also, that being said, this game, I have not played it, but it is giving me something of a quarter-life crisis of just looking at it going, I don't think I have the time. I don't think I can commit 100 hours. I want to commit 100 hours. I don't think I can.
I can't remember how many chapters there are in the original. It's like 13 or 14 and like 0. I'm on chapter 4 with 20 hours in.
Yeah.
So, and I have not done a single side quest. Yeah. I've just done the story. It is so much.
People are saying it's about 80 hours if you mainline it.
Okay, well that goes I don't know if I can play this game.
Yeah, and I was just looking at it like, this looks really cool for so many reasons. Yeah. I don't think I have the time.
That's how I'm feeling about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I like really dig, and it's like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, which is fun, but like fuck, let's wrap this thing up. Like, where are we going with this? Because I don't have 60 more hours.
See, to me it's not like that. To me it's like, what's gonna happen next? What are we gonna do? What's this story? There's just so many like different things going on where it's just like, wow, I really don't need to do any side quests because there's so much in the main story.
I've heard side quests
100 hours into a game.
Yeah,
Yakuza is a great place to do it. Yakuza 0 is fantastic.
I've done some stuff. I'll tell you about next week about this really fun game mode stuff, but we'll go through it. But
the mini games.
Anyway, the mini games are great. That's all I will say.
Batting practice yet? Oh.
No.
Next week.
Yeah, and James will play a lot more of that, and then that is our podcast topic for next week. Is our Yakuza Like a Dragon kind of impressions-ish, review-ish thing. The last thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to say like 5 seconds on this game. I got really deep into playing Slay the Spire, and that's a good fucking video game.
What do you?
There it is. 5 seconds.
That's it. No, what's up?
I can't believe you started playing Slay the Spire. Wow.
How are you playing it?
It's free on Game Pass, so I was playing on my Xbox.
I noticed it just came out. It just came out for phones. If anyone's interested.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass on your phone.
That game seems very cool. I hate the art style with a burning passion.
Yep.
And I don't know why. It bugs me.
It's a really fun deck builder that's pretty intricate and unique. Yep. And I mean, everyone kind of has talked about Slay the Spire to death. The only thing, I'm going to be honest, I only like using the first character. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of learning curve to using the second and third and fourth character. That's not very straightforward. And I didn't want to get that in deep into it. So I'm not going to keep playing it, but I enjoyed playing Slay the Spire for the 5 hours I played Slay the Spire, and I beat it twice, and that was good.
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive, yeah.
I'm a fucking gamer, Ted, okay?
Gaming warlord.
I don't mess around. Game warlord? I don't want to be that.
Gaming warlord. That's the name of my chair, actually.
Oh, you're on a warlord.
Sponsor.
Sponsorship. There it is. We're brought to you by Warlord Chairs.
Warlord Gaming.
Yeah. Taking over your living room. Yeah, sit like a
king.
Taking over
Game
your
like a king.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, episode 42. That's Ted, that's James, and I'm Jake, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.